can get their groove on with Goofy at Epcot. Experience this and more during Cool Kids Summer.
Well, thank you, Mickey and Minnie Mouse, for coming by today. Walt Disney World is bringing a taste of Cool Kids Summer to select cities across the country. The tour kicks off today in Times Square, right here in New York City, and will be coming to Atlanta on March 26th and Houston on April 2nd. We want you all to have a great day, everyone. Take a little time to enjoy the view, and remember, you are not in this alone. We're doing this together, and we'll get through. Don't despair. We'll see you tomorrow.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
A Bangor man has been indicted for manslaughter in connection with a crash that happened in Washington County. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. Police were called to a fight at a school board meeting in Newport, and we'll find out about the impact of a women's health clinic in Bangor closing. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, Susan, happy Thursday afternoon. That winter storm warning now was up, expired at 9 a.m., so we're now done with that. The focus now is on a small craft advisory that will be expiring at 8 a.m. on Friday, so we are going to be dealing with that. So the fog out there has been pretty thick this morning into the afternoon, so it's definitely going to be tough to get around as we do move forward in time, as we do have that area low pressure passing through. So there have been some ice accumulations out there, definitely making it tough. So some of you probably dealing with some power outages or some downed tree limbs. So definitely be careful as you are out and about. Road crews further off towards the north are going to be working on that. If you're in Bangor areas nearby, you're fine with temperatures that are on the warmer side. So it's just normal rain that is falling out there along a large area low pressure that is tracking off towards the east at this moment in time. So Futurecast showing things quieting down for the most part this afternoon. Just some rain and snow showers and clearing out overnight as well. And some gusty winds that'll be reaching up to about 20 miles per hour at times, possibly up to 30 miles per hour for winds as we head towards early Friday morning. So only increasing from here. The hourly forecast moving forward, we have clouds, some rain and snow showers, temperatures in the 40s, and then cooling off. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. The Washington County Grand Jury has indicted 2 people for sex trafficking and 1 person for manslaughter. Valerie Haskins and Ryan McCauley were arrested in Cutler between January 2nd and January 6th. Both were indicted on charges of aggravated sex trafficking and conspiracy to commit. Haskins was also indicted for sexual abuse of a minor and assault. Court records on these cases have been sealed. Meanwhile, a Bangor man has been indicted for manslaughter in connection with a Washington County crash that killed 1 person and injured 3 others. 22-year-old James Nile is accused of causing a crash in Wesley that killed 39-year-old John Branscombe. Nile is also facing indictments on charges of eluding an officer, causing death while license is suspended or revoked, and driving to endanger. Maine State Police are investigating a crash on Interstate 95 in Waterville early Wednesday morning. State Police spokesperson Shannon Moss says a little after 5:30, a vehicle driven by 41-year-old Raymond Fenderson of Brunswick was merging onto I-95 northbound and collided with a motorist who was traveling northbound. Moss says Fenderson's vehicle crashed head-on into a guardrail on the median side and he became trapped inside. Emergency crews eventually freed him. The passing lane was shut down for the duration of that time. According to Moss, Fenderson sustained serious but non-life-threatening injuries. She says the preliminary investigation indicates impairment was likely a factor. That crash remains under investigation. Multiple people were arrested Tuesday in Somerset County following a months-long investigation into alleged drug activity at a residence there. The Somerset County Sheriff's Office says around 5:40 Tuesday morning, their criminal division executed a drug search warrant at a residence of William Allen, located at Ward Hill Road in Norridge Walk. According to the Sheriff's Office, during the search of the residence, approximately 170 grams of fentanyl, cocaine, and other evidence was seized. Arrested in the search were 34-year-old Ariel Hernandez Baptist of Lawrence, Massachusetts, and 28-year-old Louis Marty Matt of Cambridge, Massachusetts. Both are being held without bail and are on federal retainers for allegedly being in the country illegally. They are also charged with aggravated drug trafficking. 44-year-old Luke Sylvia of Skowhegan was arrested and also charged with aggravated drug trafficking. 40-year-old Randall Woods of Madison was arrested and charged with drug possession. 50-year-old Denise Weber of Norridgewock and 46-year-old Jeremy Ross of Anson were arrested on outstanding warrants. Police were dispatched to a school board meeting in Newport Tuesday night after officials say comments got out of hand. Our Alex Schley has more.
The public comment portion of an RSU 19 school board meeting was abruptly ended Tuesday night after an incident that required police to get involved. During public comment, several attendees addressed an incident that allegedly happened earlier this year, involving a student's disciplinary action.
Another student later said they overheard her say, "It's sad that our school is under investigation because people can pick their own gender." Was later pulled into the office where he admitted that he had been talking about the investigation. After that, he was given 3 days in school suspension.
Several attendees expressed concern about how the incident was handled by school officials.
This is such classic viewpoint discrimination that it's ridiculous. Someone, we used to call them narcs when we were kids, tattletales, overheard something they heard about two people having a private conversation.
In response, an 8th grade student who said she witnessed the incident spoke about her experience.
This loudly and disrespectfully behind the student, and I was there, so I am a witness to this. He did do this purposefully, and he definitely intended to cause a reaction.
The response to the student's comments quickly escalated. Newport Police Chief David Wintle confirmed officers were dispatched to the meeting in response to the escalation.
I think an officer was going to drop by just to check it out. We do that occasionally, but we don't normally respond to school board meetings.
Wintle says police have since opened an investigation into what happened during the meeting.
We just received a complaint of an alleged assault happening at the school board meeting.
Newport Police declined to provide any additional comment about Thursday's incident or the ongoing investigation. In Newport, Alex Schley for ABC 7, Fox 22.
East OBGYN is closing this summer. The owner confirmed that Bangor's only private full-service OBGYN practice will be ceasing operations due to staffing challenges. While efforts are underway to ensure uninterrupted patient care, the situation highlights the ongoing challenges of accessing those services in our area. Our Grace Blanchard has more.
It's another loss for Maine Healthcare. Patients of Downey's OBGYN in Bangor recently learned the practice would be closing this July, with the owner, Dr. Christopher Rumsey, citing a lack of physicians. He declined our request for an interview, but announced last week he will be joining Women's Healthcare of Maine at Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center.
Downey's OB/GYN physicians did all their deliveries here at Eastern Maine Medical Center already, so their patients are familiar with our space and our team here.
Hospital leadership believes their pre-existing relationship with the practice will ensure continuity of care for patients.
They will be able to see their physician, have their deliveries, have their surgical procedures all at one location.
The closure of Downey's OBGYN is consistent with a growing trend happening across Maine and nationally.
Rural areas throughout the country are struggling to keep practices and inpatient labor and delivery units open, and we're no exception.
In 2025 alone, Maine lost 4 labor and delivery units, which includes the closure of Northern Light Inland Hospital in Waterville. According to Collins, hospitals and practices are struggling due to a perfect storm of staffing shortages, declining birth rates, and increasing costs.
So these challenges are really mounting, and this is why you're seeing some of the closures.
Collins notes that many of EMMC's 1,600 annual births originate from Downey's OBGYN, so she does not anticipate this will put additional strain on the women's health team.
We're growing our program. We think it's an opportunity, but more importantly, an obligation of ours, a commitment of ours, a part of our mission to make sure that we're here for women across the state.
In Bangor, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, Maine's Public Defense Service Commission says they have no funding left to pay their attorneys. We'll have details when we return.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
From the heart of Maine, where rugged beauty meets timeless craftsmanship, Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, taming the outdoors through groundwork, retaining walls and seawalls, building custom fireplaces that become the centerpiece of your home, crafting granite steps and patios that invite you outdoors, designing hardscapes that turn yards into living spaces, built to last, crafted for life. Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, quality in every stone.
Falls are the #1 cause of injury to senior citizens. Acorn Stairlifts has the solution. Just don't fall. Sit, relax, ride with an Acorn Stairlift, the world's leader in stairlifts. Don't let limited mobility keep you from going up and down your stairs, even outside. Call Acorn Stairlifts now for a free information kit and no obligation quote. Why risk falling when you can safely ride?
Our Acorn Stairlift is definitely more affordable than moving.
The Acorn Stairlift has a padded seat and backrest. Safety sensors stop the chair if there are obstacles. The seat swivels and locks so you don't twist your body. And the Acorn Stairlift folds away. It even runs during power outages.
I was really surprised at how little it cost.
Call 1-800-732-2971 right now for your free information kit or visit our website today. That's 1-800-732-2971.
Car accidents can be scary. It can feel like the whole world is crashing down around you. You can't work, you've got expensive medical bills, pain and suffering. Absolute chaos. We'll take the stress and frustrations off your shoulders. We've done that for thousands of people, and we're ready to help you too. Hurt in a car accident? I'm on top of it. I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Iran has attacked vessels near Iraq in the Strait of Hormuz and is warning that all shipping through the key route is now forbidden. It appears to be a significant escalation in the war. Iran also hit a major oil facility in the region. The developments rattle global energy markets. ABC's Ian Pannell has the latest.
Overnight, amid the ongoing war against Iran, the global price of oil skyrocketing, topping $100 a barrel, despite President Trump's promises of relief. Iran attacking the flow of Mideast oil, at least 6 ships targeted in the last 24 hours. Overnight, 2 tankers attacked off southern Iraq. Dramatic video circulating online showing one of them on fire, at least 1 crew member killed. Come! This morning, the IRGC claiming to strike the Safe Sea Vishnu, seen here in video circulating online. Nearby boats racing to the scene, dousing the carrier with water, throwing life preservers to those in the water and in Oman. This online video showing massive explosions as Iranian drones struck its largest oil facility. Iran saying it carried out 2 of the strikes, saying the ship's captains ignored their warnings not to pass through. Despite the new attacks, and with 20% of the world's oil at an effective standstill, President Trump still sounding optimistic.
We're going to look very strongly at the Straits. The Straits are in great shape. We've knocked out all of their boats. They have some missiles, but not very many. I think we're in very good shape.
The administration announcing a historic release of 172 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserves next week as part of the larger 400 million barrels the International Energy Agency agreed to release. And this morning, Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei speaking out for the first time, apparently, since he was elected supreme leader. A statement read on Iranian state TV.
بر محل جلوس 2 پیشوای عظیم الشأن انقلاب خمینی کبیر
A statement was read on Iranian state TV from the son of the late Ayatollah, who was killed in the first wave of attacks, saying the leverage of closing the Strait of Hormuz should be used and attacks on neighbouring countries should continue. Concerns over Khamenei's health growing after an Iranian official confirmed he was injured during a strike by the US or Israel at the start of the war. This all comes as the US and Israel press their offensive against Iran. New satellite images showing the extent of the damage to military bases. US Central Command reporting 5,500 targets have been hit so far. But questions linger about that deadly strike on a girls' school in southern Iran on the first day of the war. The New York Times now reporting that a preliminary investigation has determined the US military was responsible for that attack, the result of a targeting mistake and the use of outdated data, as the US struck a military base nearby that the school building used to be part of. 168 people were killed, mostly children. Iranian state TV airing this video, appearing to show a US-made Tomahawk missile slamming into a building next to the school. The president Wednesday saying he knows nothing about these reported preliminary findings.
A new report says the military investigation has found it was the United States that struck the school.
I don't know about it.
The White House saying in a statement that this investigation is ongoing. There are no conclusions at this time.
Now to a key witness in the Epstein investigation. The convicted sex offender's longtime accountant testified before lawmakers yesterday, claiming he was not aware of the things Epstein did to women and girls. ABC's Jay O'Brien has more.
This morning, Richard Kahn, who watched over Jeffrey Epstein's money for more than a decade, testifying behind closed doors about the convicted sex offender's complex financial web.
I think everyone in America has questions about how Epstein was able to accumulate so much wealth.
In his opening statement, Kahn telling the committee he was not aware of the terrible and unforgivable things that Epstein did to women and girls, and that he believed Epstein's claims that his arrest in the mid-2000s for sex crimes with a minor was a mistake. The House Oversight Committee pressing Kahn, still a co-executor of Epstein's estate, on how the accused sex trafficker went from math teacher to high-powered money manager for the ultra-wealthy, highlighting several wealthy individuals, most with previously known ties to Epstein, who paid him millions in fees.
Kahn was the fixer. He was the accountant. His name was on the shell companies as the owner of the shell companies. So he helped hide a lot of Jeffrey Epstein's, enterprise. And so we want to know all about it.
But as the committee's investigation keeps expanding, Chairman James Comer saying he hopes it can wrap up in the 10 months left in this Congress. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
Maine Secretary of State is making her run for governor official. Shanna Bellows turned in her signatures Wednesday to qualify for the ballot. The Democrat says she's grateful for the support of everyone who signed her petition. Bellows grew up in Hancock and has been Secretary of State since 2021. The Maine Commission on Public Defense Services provides state-funded legal counsel and representation to Mainers that need it. However, that mission could be in jeopardy as their executive director announced that they've run out of funding. Our Callie Warren has the details.
There's nothing that we could do that would be more damaging than not pay the vast majority of our attorneys, which is what we are doing as of today.
The Public Defense Services Commission, or PDS, officially has no funding left to pay their attorneys. Attorneys that must be provided to Mainers that need them as outlined in the Constitution. They have around 400 total lawyers who took on nearly 30,000 new cases last year alone.
This really impacts everybody in Maine. It's not just the lawyers.
This comes after PDS dealt with a legal counsel shortage that triggered a lawsuit. PDS was sued by the ACLU of Maine for not providing attorneys in a timely manner. Tarpinian says staffing was so strained that nobody was available for those cases. And now some lawyers are stepping back from new caseloads.
We know some folks are stepping back. They've already told us they're stepping back. I'm worried that now more are going to step back.
Attorneys were notified that they will receive their final paychecks for this fiscal year on March 23rd and likely will not be paid again until July. PDS is urging the Maine legislature to pass LD 2059, an emergency funding measure to fix the situation and fund the state-appointed legal counsel that Mainers are entitled to.
Their student loans are not waiting and their mortgages are not waiting. and their kids still have to eat.
Tarpinian says the issue will cause a ripple effect, as many cases require public or state-appointed defense due to a client's inability to pay.
As soon as those cases are filed, they're being filed right now, so people are being arrested right now.
If more lawyers step back, clients can be left waiting, often behind bars.
Or if somebody takes your brother's kids away, that person needs a lawyer immediately. And the pain continues from there. People who sit in jail longer because they're waiting for lawyers, that costs taxpayers a lot of money.
Callie Warren reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Lawmakers are dealing with an emergency funding bill for that. We'll have details tonight at 6. After the break, the Maine Festival is getting a national award. We'll tell you about it when we come back.
Hi, this is Jim with Lowry Law.
Some guy slid across the center line and hit my daughter. Is there any way you could come meet us at the hospital?
I can meet you at the hospital right now.
Lowry Law settled my daughter's case for $250,000.
You provide it all. There's no challenge you can't take on, because you've already taken on everything. You've gone above and beyond. It feels like you've brought them together. It feels like your home is taken care of. It feels like you're all at the top of your game. And with Fidium Fiber Internet, you are.
It feels like Fidium.
At the County Federal Credit Union, we value the trust our members place in us to act in their best interest. Whether it's providing low rates on consumer loans or raising money to end hunger, we work hard to serve our members and the communities in which they live. We are excited to bring the meaningful and impactful work we do to all Mainers as we continue to grow. Wherever you are in life's journey, count on the county to be your financial partner.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street, or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
On a glamorous Next Jeopardy!
I'm Conan O'Brien.
With clues about the Oscars.
Wow.
Which player will take home some gold?
Let's make it a true daily double, Ken.
Only on ABC7.
When lives are on the line, they don't hesitate to run towards danger. Unfortunately, the same gear that protects them from deadly flames can be hazardous to their health. Senator Susan Collins to the rescue. Susan helped introduce legislation that protects firefighters and first responders from cancer-causing forever chemicals in their equipment. Because their job is dangerous enough. Call Senator Collins and thank her for protecting Maine's first responders.
Here in the Test Kitchen, we're known for coming up with easy recipe ideas. And today we take it a step further because the dish we're making is beyond easy. It's absolutely foolproof. I mean, if you can boil water, you can make this. All we do is combine some linguine, that's uncooked straight from the box, with a can of diced tomatoes, juice and all, a sliced onion, and some garlic. On top of that, we pour some chicken broth, and if you prefer, you can use vegetable broth if you want to make this vegetarian. Then we sprinkle on a few seasonings, drizzle on a little olive oil, cover it, bring the whole thing to a boil. After it boils, we'll let it simmer and stir it every few minutes. We'll want to keep it covered when we're not stirring it so the pasta soaks up most, but not all of the liquid. Once the pasta is tender, serve it topped with some fresh basil and a little grated Parmesan for a tasty dinner that couldn't be easier. That's why we call it miracle pasta. I hope you'll go online and get the recipe. It's a great way to whip up something homemade, no matter what level cook you are. And don't let how easy it is fool you. It's really good. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where every day we're looking for a foolproof way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
The Maine Whoopie Pie Festival in Dover-Foxcroft is getting national attention. It plays second as the best specialty food festival in USA Today's Top 10 Best Reader's Choice Award. The festival was one of 20 around the country to be nominated, and it was the only festival in Maine to be chosen. The first place winner was the Delta Hot Tamale Festival in Greenville, Mississippi. Whoopie Pie Festival organizer Patrick Myers says for the first year competing, getting second place is a real honor. Myers says he hopes they will be nominated again next year and do even better. The Whoopie Pie Festival started in 2009 and celebrates the taste of Maine's official state treat. This year it will take place on June 13th at the Piscataquis Valley Fairgrounds. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Hi, I'm Tony Hafford from TC Hafford Basement Systems, the all things basement-y company. Basement waterproofing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. Since 1991, over 15,000 Maine homeowners have trusted TC Hafford Basement Systems to fix their basements. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basement-y.
Foggy's Pub, your place for fun, food, and friends in Palmyra, Maine.
Carpets looking tired, stained, or just plain dirty? It's time to call the pros. At C&R Carpet Cleaning, we use deep steam technology to remove dirt, odors, pet hair, and allergens fast. Fresh, clean carpets, healthier home. That's the C&R promise. Visit our Facebook page for a free estimate or call us today, 631-7380. Step into clean with C&R Carpet Cleaning.
I'm an oyster farmer and a small business owner. Graham knows what it means to wake up at 4 a.m. with the rest of us. Sullivan needed a harbor master, Graham stepped up. Lobstermen needed help with their gear, Graham dove on it. That's just who he is. I don't see anyone like that in Washington. He cares, he gets Maine, he gets us.
I love every corner of this state and every person in it far too much to just stand by and watch it be ripped apart.
Graham will do whatever it takes to get the job done.
I'm Graham Plattner, and I approve this message.
Let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, Susan, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. Look at that fog out there this afternoon. Definitely making travel a little bit difficult at times as it's down to about a half mile or less. Other spots just a little bit better, so definitely be smart as you do travel throughout the afternoon period. The winter storm warning dropped at 9 a.m. this morning, so we're now done with that, but the small craft advisory will remain posted until 8 a.m. as we head towards your Friday. Wave height still active at around 5 feet according to the buoys, while further off towards the north and east, it's definitely still active too. Now 4 to 6 foot wave heights are being observed at this moment in time, and we're still going to keep the ocean a little bit active for a little while yet. But now here's what we got. We've had rain passing through, just general rain for areas along Bangor, further off towards the north. We definitely had some frozen precipitation. Now things are improving with the winter storm warning now done. But as we do zoom things out, it's this area low pressure, a large area low pressure tracking off to the east. It actually prompted some severe weather in Georgia earlier this morning. But for us, as we move forward, just some rain and snow showers coming up this afternoon. But overnight, we're going to have the clouds breaking up, so we're looking pretty good. As as we head towards your Friday, lots of sunshine, looking pretty good. More clouds coming up later on tonight, Friday night, I should say. Friday night, the clouds move in. We have more snow on the way, and then that will continue as we head towards your Saturday. So definitely getting busy as we move forward by that point. So we're done with the ice, I can assure you. That's why I'm showing you this map, so we're good to go in that department, but more snow on the way as we do move forward Friday night and to Saturday, with around 1 to 3 inches of snow, locally up to 4 inches by that point. That's Friday night and to Saturday. So for today, lower 50s, some rain and snow showers, a lower 50s and cooling off, breezy west wind at around 25 miles per hour. By tonight, lower 20s, partly cloudy and breezy, northwest wind at around 20 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, low 40s, partly cloudy, and that west wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. There's that chance for rain and snow Saturday with highs in the low 40s. Low 40s again Sunday under a partly cloudy sky. Rain chances Monday, highs in the low 50s.
Thank you, Devin. Multivitamins could slow biological aging in older adults. That's according to a new study published Monday in the Journal of Nature Medicine. It found that participants who took a multivitamin daily for 2 years showed a slowed so-called biological aging by around 4 months. In other words, during the 24-month period, they aged only about 20 months at a cellular level. In addition, the study showed that those who had shown signs of accelerated aging showed a decrease in that aging once they started a daily multivitamin. Police in Georgia captured a runaway tortoise. Hinesville police say the tortoise escaped its enclosure and walked, quote, a surprising distance from home. Police were able to load the tortoise, which they say was ridiculously heavy, into a police truck and take it back home. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
When the morning light hits Maine, start your day with a good morning, Maine. Craig Colson, Janessa Bishop by your side, bringing the stories that matter statewide. Local news and the forecast ahead. Wake up informed, ready to go on ABC 7 and Fox 22.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.